Well, one of the major problems that we faced was a real estate problem. Basically, we were maxed out in terms of space. Whenever we had someone that had to come into the group, we didn't have room for them. On the flip side of that, even though we were full in terms of space, in terms of assigned workstations, in reality, when you went and walked the space, we oftentimes had many empty spaces because the nature of the work that we do, we're here for part of the day, but for a good part of the day, we're out of this building.
So when he came to us, he really said, I want to support this type of work, the mobile work, much better than we are doing it today. And also I want to leverage the real estate. He said, I just have empty workstations everywhere, and how do we kind of reallocate that real estate and leverage it in better ways?
Well, the first kind of new idea that we had is, what if we started with a new paradigm, which is, instead of everybody having their own assigned space, what if we simply created a variety of spaces where anybody could work, but no one owned any one of those particular spaces? So that was kind of the first, break, in terms of new thinking, in terms of where we might go.
We thought of it as a shared community of spaces, and we wanted to provide a range of work settings for people to use. So we thought of open spaces and enclosed spaces. We thought of individual spaces and group spaces. And for this group, because they were mostly a mobile group, we also really accentuated having the social space in this little cafe area at the heart of everything.
So as far as the design of the space, this was always kind of meant to be the hub of the space right here. Basically, you come up the escalator, and this is the first thing that you'd see. There'd be a coffee and things that would draw people there, basically to be able to connect and collaborate informally. Surrounding the space then, you've got some cafe-type tables that people can either work individually or collaborate with other people at the same time. Along each of the walls, we've got much more private space. So if you need to hunker down and not be interrupted, you've got some spaces to go there. We've got some meeting spaces, frankly, right in the middle of the open space that's accommodated by some of our new Mediascape product as well too. And then along either of the sides, we've got private enclaves that allow people to meet where they really do need to be private. The spaces work very, very well for our people. As you can imagine, when we asked them to give up their permanent workstation, that made some of our people a little bit nervous. But in terms of what we've been able to provide, a variety of workstations that helps them solve their individual work needs, depending on the type of work that needs to be done, to connect and collaborate better than they were able to before. Today, people are actually proud to work in this space. And it actually serves as a way that we can actually attract people into our group. People like to work in this type of space. And when people leave the group, they'll still leave our group, but this is one of the things that they'll be sorry to leave behind.